What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? Happy 2021. Hope everybody's having a great start to your year. Look, it's a fresh slate, it's a fresh start. So we got a whole new beginning, a whole new chance to write a whole nother story in another year. So you guys, I'm one of the things I'm trying to do better is coming on at a more decent hour. I tend to be able to my thoughts, it's quiet in the nighttime and I can, kind of bring my thoughts together that I want to talk about, but I'm going to try to start coming on earlier. So today I actually wanted to talk about this is going to be a challenge. So the challenge is in 2021 to tune out the noise, okay? Tuning out the noise. And the reason why I came up with this is because I don't know if you guys have heard of the app Clubhouse, but it's like a new app. It's like so dope. It's pretty much like as if you were in at a conference, and every single room you go into is like a different topic. And so you can always find people that are, you want to connect with, that are talking about things that you're interested from a broad range. And it's like so addicting. And then for me, it's like I see so much people that look like me and giving so much excellence and value and, giving free game and content. It's just really, really addicting. And so everybody that I talked to has pretty much had like a similar experience. And yeah, but one thing that we actually have noticed is that there's this thing called Clubhouse Addiction, to the point where you're so used to, you get all this good knowledge and free game and people dropping gems left and right, and it's like ooh 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 ooh. The next thing you know, you're on there all day, and call it the Clubhouse Addiction. And so I realized that there's a point where you can start consuming so much information that you never do anything with it. And I was in that place because I was writing down all this stuff, and a couple of days later realized I had done nothing with it. So what I realized is that just like the UNCF says, the mind is a terrible thing to waste, right? And so when I started to sit down and think, the mind can is so powerful, but it can take in information. It can also create information to put out, but it cannot do both at the same time. It cannot be taking inputs and giving outputs at the same time, right? So what I realized when I thought about it is, from an early age, we are conditioned to always be taking in information, whether that's school, education, the news, social media. We're always taking in information, but nobody really ever encourages us to step outside the box and start creating our own to put out. And so, like, I thought about, times when I've asked friends and people that I know their thoughts about stuff, and they may refer to an Instagram quote, or they may refer to something they saw on social media, or even, something that they got from education or a thought leader. But a lot of times, as far as like us coming up with our own concepts and stringing together our own ideas, that's kind of a little bit rare. And so what I realized, man, is that entertainment is so powerful. It's so powerful because really a lot of these things are distractions. They basically can force feed you what to think, and you don't even realize that they're force feeding you from TV, movies, social media. And yesterday I talked about that 15 billionaires own the entire news in the USA, 25 people in the whole world. So that's a small percentage of people that are giving us basically food for thought, right? And basically telling us what to think. So in order to come up with original ideas, we have to be able to cut off these inputs and sit in stillness, right? To be able to give our mind time to create and piece things together. And so, even furthermore, I'm going to add, we have to be able to connect to God, right? And because the thing is, the mind is the one thing that can go between body and spirit. So we're not just one dimensional, we're body, mind, and spirit, like I talked about. But our mind has the ability to tell our body what to do. It can also connect to our spirit man to get things that are outside of this bodily, that we experience with our body, right? So from that, I also like realized that in the Bible, anytime God wanted to talk to like give a message to somebody, he always took them away from the noise, right? So even in like Moses, when he had a message to get to Moses, he took him up into the mountain away from everybody else, so that he could basically mirror on earth what was in heaven. And so, if you think about it, God had to get him away from the noise. And so, because Moses did that, he activated his purpose and he made his name great to the point that we still know him. Everybody knows the story of Moses thousands and thousands of years later, all because he got into quietness slash stillness and was obedient. And so a lot of us, we want to be great, right? We want to be great. But a lot of times we're not really willing to step outside of the box. And then I'm sure, a lot of people were looking at him crazy when he was like, we about to walk across this Red Sea. They're like, Moses, what? Right? So, but at the same time, some people don't have you're not giving ourselves the opportunity to be obedient, which will make our name great. Because if we have too much noise around, we can't hear his voice. And so the thing is, if he gives us an assignment, you better believe, as crazy as it may seem, Moses thought it was crazy too, and he was very insecure. If you read it, he came out being great. And so the thing is, everybody has purpose. You were put on this earth with a purpose. But the enemy's goal is to keep your mind busy and preoccupied. So, AKA entertainment, so that you can never receive your assignments. But what we don't realize is that everything that we say that we want really is on the other side of that, from joy, peace, prosperity. So entertainment can be like a drug, right? It can give you that high, that same high that I was getting in Clubhouse when I was getting this good information. Like, and the same thing when social media, when somebody likes one of your posts, you basically have like one of those endorphins that's released, and it creates a good feeling in your body. And so these entertainment has the ability to keep our mind clouded and preoccupied, and we're constantly receiving inputs, but we're never creating outputs to put out. And so my question is, are you feeling unfulfilled? Are you feeling like there's more to life, more that you need to be doing? I'm going to challenge you in 2021 to turn off some of those distractions. Okay? Because when you connect to your spirit, when you connect to God, he's going to give you strategy. He's going to give you focus. He's going to give you direction. It is going to unlock the life that you've been dreaming of. Okay? It's going to seem like things are just falling into place. And to be honest with you, I'm a testament. And I haven't really had these experiences until this year. So I'm not telling you something that I just heard. I'm telling you something that I know. Right? And, the thing is, God created us to depend on him daily. Okay. But because some of us, we have some of the same characteristics that God has, just in a more limited way, from being present, from having power, from from knowing, but that can sometimes be our own worst enemy because we think we can do it all ourselves. Right. And so trust that even if you think you've been getting it, you've been killing the game, you've been doing your thing, right? You only doing that because God allowed you. God allowed it first. He is all knowing. He is all powerful. He is all potential. And so in the word, it says, lean not to thy own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Proverbs 3:5-6. And then I even I wanted to share with you like this, because this one thing had completely blew my mind. And I was listening to this girl on YouTube last night. I listened to her, pretty often, but it seemed like it had the same effect on her. And so I had to just share it real quick. So Matthew 6:31, it says, so do not worry, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. So, y'all, I don't know about y'all, but my mind was like blown because we spend so much time. I know at least I do, especially like, I was on my whole fitness thing and then worrying about, proportioning my food, getting my meals, what I'm gonna wear. I'm about to be fly to this, I got this event coming up. I'm about to be fly. What I'm gonna drink. All these things we worry about. And in the word, he said, don't worry about that. Like, I got you. I know you need that stuff. I got you. Right. So what I realized is that he basically created us to need these things so that we could depend on him more. Y'all, he wants us to depend on him more. And it's so that again, we and then not only seeking him every so often, but seeking him daily. And so what I realized is that when Peter was like walking on the water towards Jesus, as long as he was keeping his eyes on Jesus, he was good. But as soon as he started getting distracted by the wind that was, blowing crazy, he started to sink. And so we're the same way. It's like if we keep our eyes on him, on what we're supposed to, we're going to be succeeding because he's going to be providing he already provided everything we need anyway, as far as this body, but then we're going to be getting everything else all above and beyond that we need. Okay. And so, hold on, my next point that I had wrote, y'all, I'll be taking notes because, like I said, these things be coming to me and it's just crazy. It wasn't until I started learning how to get in stillness that I started being confident in these things that I'm telling y'all. But yeah, so many times we are so focused on the food and the clothes and the drink, when really those are just a means to an end. The end being our purpose, which is here on earth, which is really going to get us to the life we want to live, and at the same time glorify God. And so, really, it's really just the trick of the enemy that keeps you focused on those different things, like all those things that have little meaning, that have no value. But you guys, so this is why this is my challenge to you, because enough is enough. Okay, it's time to take our power back. It's time to stop the enemy dead in his tracks. Because in 2021, I challenge you to cut out distractions from TV, from movies that don't glorify him, to like filthy music that just keeps your mind all over the place doing stuff where you could be better spending that time doing stuff, getting closer to your purpose. It says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Matthew 6:33. So mute those distractions so you can hear your assignments. Put down that remote control. It's a reason why it has the word control in it. It's not just controlling the TV. That TV is controlling you, but you don't realize it. And so in 2021, if you're not putting out content, if you're not putting out inspiration that you got from him, if you're not creating stuff that was inspired by him, what are you doing? You're probably just consuming every single thing, and you think, oh, this is good, this is valuable, but it's keeping you from living the life you were meant to live. And so in 2021, we're going to declare and decree that we're going to be thought leaders. We're going to put out what he tells us to put out. We're going to seek him first in everything that we create, in our creativity. And then we checking the deuces. We logging off. We got a whole life out here to live, people to love on and to enjoy, places to go, things to see. It's a whole life out here outside of social media that we supposed to be living. And then for some of you that may have FOMO, fear of missing out, my question is, what about all the value that's inside of you already? You feel like you're about to miss out on getting some additional value, but half the time, what have you done with the value that's already in you? Because listen, you didn't just become valuable. You were valuable way back when. You see what I'm saying? You were already valuable way back when. And when it comes to, but you see, value likes value. You see, when we network, that's what, people like to network. I give you something, you give me something, right? Nobody likes a one-sided relationship. Rashida, what's going on? Appreciate that. But nobody likes a one-sided relationship, you guys. Not in human relationships, not a lover, not a friend, nothing. So that's why you're constantly paying. That's why you're constantly paying people. Because guess what? As long as you're paying for everybody else's value and not cultivating your own, you are going to stay paying people. And nobody is going to be paying you. Nobody's going to be paying you. But God put value into you before you were born. He loved you before you were even thought of on this earth. And so, again, everything He has and He loves and He creates has value. Just look at the world around you. Look at yourself. Look at the people that you love. Now, all you got to do is cut the distractions, you guys, and tap in. It's time to tap in. So, I just wanted, it's funny that I'm wearing this shirt, you guys, real quick. It says Cali because, earlier this year, I said this year I wanted to move. I wanted to leave Florida again. I had moved back home. I was ready to leave. I was like, God, I'm gonna go where you tell me to go. And so it was between three places. I was thinking of New York, California, LA, and Atlanta. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna let Him show me a sign. I'm that kind of person, right? So I'm like, okay, Lord, I need you to show me a sign. And so I was like, okay, I'm about to get back on this modeling thing because I had kind of been, low key for a little minute. And so I went to New York and got back in some shows during Fashion Week. I was like, okay, 2020 is about to be lit, right? So from there, I was like, I was gonna go to Cali. So I went to Cali. And I'm like, okay, Cali, I'm about to do LA Fashion Week. I'm about to get my face back out there and start doing my thing. And the pandemic hit. The pandemic hit. But little did I know that's exactly what I needed, because when I went to Cali, I got in a quiet place. I got in stillness. I got away from all the noise that just sometimes you have to get away from everybody that you know. And that's where a lot of things were revealed to me. So even in my last video talking about social engineering, this is where things started to be revealed to me. And I started getting stronger in my spirit, man, so that, now when I say stuff, I'm a lot more confident. Because I believe that, like I said, we are body, mind, and spirit. So stuff that I already was strong in my mind, and I may have experienced in my body, but I was still insecure. But now I have my spirit, man, and I can confirm all three. And so this is what's giving me the confidence to, come to you guys as I have been now, because you're looking at somebody that dealt with, insecurity and low self-esteem growing up, to be honest with you. And so, you guys, I just say this because I want y'all to be great. I want 2021 to be the best year ever for you. Yes, Rashida, we all have our gifts as we are made in His image. We need to take time to explore what our purpose on earthly plane is by getting still in His word. Our gifts will make room for us. Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better myself. I love it. I love it. So I'm glad you feeling me, because I'm definitely feeling that, what you just said. I hope you guys, the rest of you guys, are feeling me. And I hope you're going to turn off those distractions so you can tap in and get to the life you were made to live. All right, you guys. I love you. Peace until next time.